Warning, incoming game over. Warning, incoming game over.
Oh, it's fitting, isn't it? Even the webcam has said nope. We're done for the season. There we go. What is up, y'all? What is up? What is up? What is up? What is up? It's your boy Avry here. Game over Edmonton. A little banged up. Still sore. Playing through the pain. Playing stitched up. But we're here. One final episode of Game Over Edmonton for the 24-25 season. And well, that didn't end the way people who watch this show wanted to end, did it? As the Florida Panthers repeat as Stanley Cup champions with a 5-1 victory over the Edmonton Oilers tonight down in Sunrise, a game that saw from the jump, the Panthers capitalize on every Oilers mistake, cashed in on every miscue Edmonton had, and Sam Reinhart had a 4-goal game. Sam Reinhart, again, 4 goals. Sergei Bobrovsky was brilliant in net, and Edmonton just too many mistakes from everybody in a white jersey. Started with that bad play of Mattias Ekholm trying to get that pass over to Evan Bouchard. Stu Skinner wasn't sharp enough. And the play of Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl, once again, you didn't get that signature game to take over. Those two just didn't activate. It didn't come, and that's a major problem. It didn't happen. It didn't come their way. So now you look at this team and you wonder, man, for the record, I didn't want to watch the Panthers celebrating. I saw it last year. You saw it once, you saw it all, but full credit to that Florida Panthers team. One that defensively shut down this Oilers team in the neutral zone in many ways. That neutral zone play was wonderful. Full credit to guys like Gustav Forsling, Brad Marchand, Sam Bennett, who found ways to solve and shut down Edmonton once again, making them ineffective over a series. And last year was 7 games. This year, 6 games. And again, Brad Marchand, 6 goals in this series. Brad Marchand became an Oilers killer in just one Stanley Cup final at 37 years old. Wow. And again, for Edmonton, nobody in a white jersey looked ready. It looked like, once again, everybody was a step behind Florida, a step behind the puck, a step behind the play. And you saw the shots on Sergei Bobrovsky. When a rebound was kicked out, there was no white jerseys. It was all red jerseys around the puck on every single rebound that Sergei Bobrovsky kicked out. Guys didn't get to the net hard enough. Now, I do want to say there were a couple of bright spots. I mean, yes, I did like the play of Jeff Skinner. I did like the play of Corey Perry. But 2 guys can't be doing it all in a do-or-die Game 6. That can't happen. I think many of us thought that they would find a way to push back and not essentially have a repeat of what we saw in Game 5. This was, if not a repeat, even worse than Game 5. This was even worse. Didn't get a goal late until Vasily Podkolzin makes it a 5-1 game. This team, really after a 3-0 goal, it felt like this team had given up after that 3-zip goal. It felt like, that mountain is just too high to climb now. And for the record, we're not going to go too long in this show. And we're going to forego the usual periods. It's going to be you, the viewer, the listener, offering the comments, your thoughts on this game, on the end of not just the Oilers season, but the end of the 2024-2025 NHL season. And the last Game Over Edmonton that we're going to have in terms of a post-game show until the fall. So it has been fun to help bring back Game Over Edmonton. It's been fun to be a part of this show's relaunch on an independent network, spearheaded by the one and only Andrew Berkshire. I see the people are hopping up and in now. I see the viewers are coming in now, tapping in. So let's get some comments, some thoughts. I know we got some comments on social media. I know we got a comment on Twitter from Brian Baston, who covers the National Predators. I know we got some other comments, hopefully coming in from maybe Blue Sky. So, but man, what a game. What a game. And then again, the biggest thing with the fact that what hurt Edmonton was just being unable to start on time in the first period. Florida in this series had 9 goals in the first period in the past 3 games. How are you not able to get ready to have that jump in the first period? I don't understand that. And for most people, that makes no sense either. How are you not ready to go in a Stanley Cup final in the opening 20? That hurt Edmonton. In every game except for game 1, they just were not ready to go. They couldn't start on time. They needed that. I mean, yes, we saw in earlier rounds against LA and against Vegas how they were the comeback kings. But the Florida Panthers are too good for you to keep trying to dig yourself out of a hole again and again and again. Excuse me, and now you have the hiccups. And again and again. That Florida Panthers team is too good and too deep for you to keep trying that again and again. They'll find a way to shut it down, much like they found a way to shut down Edmonton's options on the man advantage. Paul Maurice has built a team that is built to sustain whoever they face, whoever is thrown their way. And again, the Florida Panthers, it isn't a young team. That's a veteran team, just like Edmonton. But here they are again, repeat champions, after going to the Cup final, back to back to back. We already know it's hard enough to get to 1 Cup final, to get to 2, or to get to 3. And now the Panthers have repeated, as that Stanley Cup stays once again in the state of Florida. You want to win a Stanley Cup? You got to go through either Tampa Bay or Florida. Because my goodness, my word. It is wild how... It is wild how people still cannot solve for the Panthers. I know Leaf fans are probably going, no, we had them right where you wanted them. And yeah, the Maple Leafs had the Panthers right where they had them. The Florida Panthers were dead to rights against Toronto, and that Panthers team just found a way to come back. Toronto should have moved on that series. The Maple Leafs should have taken down Florida and couldn't finish them off. Elite teams, the best of the best of the best, find ways to stay in a series, find ways to overcome and persevere every single time. And now the big thing is for, I think both these teams now is, can Florida do it again? Can Florida, again, the big thing is the cap space, the salary cap, guys like Bennett, Ekblad, Marchand. This is a league where you got to manage your money. There's no uncapped system, so juggling those contracts is going to be a big thing for Florida now come this offseason. And for the Oilers now, there's a lot of questions to ask. Of course, yes. Connor McDavid is going to stay here for a long time. Connor McDavid is not leaving Edmonton. I know you see those rumors of, Connor's getting frustrated, Connor wants out. I mean, yeah, I don't doubt that Connor is, to an extent, frustrated. But he is not looking at greener pastures. He's not looking to leave Edmonton. Leon Draisaitl would not have re-signed if he knew Connor wanted to leave the city. That was not going to happen. That was not going to happen at all. But the bigger question is now, the other pieces around McDavid. What happens to the future of guys like Darnell Nurse, like Stuart Skinner? what happens to those guys? The guys in the 1 year deals, the guys like the guys like the Jeff Skinners, Victor Arvidssons. What happens now with those pieces around McDavid and Draisaitl? It's now up to management to figure that part out. And I wrote about it beforehand for AverySports.com. Again, I'm a big Stu Skinner guy, but next year might be the year where, you know what, you got to go out and get some help for Stewart, be it a Cam Talbot, an Alex Lyon, a John Gibson. At the deadline, I mean, full credit, Calvin Pickard had a great postseason, but we saw the problems in this cup final when you kept flipping between Stu Skinner and Calvin Pickard. You saw the problem that happened when you couldn't commit to one guy during a Stanley Cup final. And now, say for example, the Oilers get back to a cup final in 25-26, you gotta have a stone cold number one goalie in net. You can't do it again where you're flip-flopping between who the guy is going to be in net between game 2 or game 3 or a game 4. So it's going to be tough. It is going to be tough to see. And I'll just get to Brian's comment here. Let's see what Brian said. 1 second, I had here. Oh, dang, had it a second ago. There we go. Oh, Mr. Brian Baston, at Brian Baston on Twitter. How do you even begin to address a defense problem? Goaltending is an issue, but there's something that needs to be done about that blue line. And man, the blue line, Mattias Ekholm, first of all, I think Mattias Ekholm is way more hurt than he's letting on. We're going to hear, the exit interviews this week that Mattias Ekholm had like 95 torn ligaments. He was not 100%. I mean, yes, he battled, he fought hard in his postseason, but Mattias Ekholm clearly is not healthy. He clearly is not playing 100%. He's not even playing probably at 85% or 75% because the Mattias Ekholm that's healthy is not making those key mistakes in a playoff series with the puck like he did this postseason. He's not being beaten off the draw. He's not playing too high like he was when he returned to the lineup. So that's a big thing to address there. Full credit there to guys like Jake Wallman. I thought Jake Wallman was a great acquisition for the Oilers. This postseason, that is someone who I thought deserved full marks for his play coming into Edmonton. And the Darnell Nurse, Brett Kulak pairing, just once again, wasn't great. Need to be better. Those two together just were not great this postseason. And I don't know how. I truly don't think I don't think this team moves on from Darnell Nurse, but there's so much money tied up in that contract. It's tough for me to really say what this team can do. I mean, if you can move Darnell, I doubt it, but then money is freed up. But I don't see any team taking on that contract, no matter who it is. So there's definitely some question marks between Nurse and then, of course, M. Bouchard, who offensively, M. Bouchard. People want to say M. Bouchard was horrible, bad. No, here's the thing. M. Bouchard had moments this postseason where, yes, at times there are moments where he struggled. But overall, Evan Bouchard was a great defenseman for this team. I'm not going to look at the small moments and say, see, Bouchard can't play. Bouchard's overrated. No. Evan Bouchard, go in the analytics. Evan Bouchard is a very strong defenseman who is still learning and still figuring out the game at a top level. He will get paid. But how you make the money work, how you make giving Evan Bouchard $10 million or more work, that's going to be a tough call on his Oilers management come this offseason. It's going to be very, very hard to determine how you get that done. It really will be. So, I don't see any more comments or questions. So, you know what? Like I said, it was going to be a short show. We're going to wrap things up here on Game Over Edmonton. If you have any other comments, now's the time to get them in here. But I want to say thank you again for tapping in and, chopping up with me and chopping up with Austin, with Ash, with Graham, with all of us here on the Game Over Network. we wanted to figure out how to bring the show back after the split from SDPN, after we were laid off, and we got to brainstorming in terms of how can we bring this back. And Andrew found a way to bring it back as an independent company, which we all appreciated, we all were thankful for, and we've brought in new talent. We've brought back shows all across the country. We've brought shows beyond just Game Over. Look at Game On. Look at Hyperdrive Hockey. Other shows have been on this network now. So the plan is keep it going. Hopefully, maybe create some content in the off season, and then come back even stronger this fall for the 2025-2026 season, as we see again the Oilers lose 5-1 in Game 6 of the Stanley Cup Final, a frustrating way to end the season in which Edmonton, the dog, just wasn't there. The dog just wasn't there to find a way to extend the series to a Game 7. A frustrating way. At least last year in Game 7, it was a one-goal game. You saw Edmonton pressing in a game that was a lot tighter, but it was a repeat of Game 5 in which the forwards looked lost. The forwards looked lost. The D-man looked lost. They lost every puck battle tonight in the wrong time of the year. But with that being said, there's a new season on the horizon. It'll be interesting to see what this front office does to fill in the gaps, and if they actually do bring in another goaltender to the roster. We'll see. We'll see what Stan Bowman does this offseason, and we'll see if better wingers are brought in around Leon Draisaitl. I think the biggest thing that hurt Edmonton too in this Cup final, no Zach Hyman. No Zach Hyman in this Cup final. That's going to be a big question mark forever. What if Zach Hyman played in the Stanley Cup final? How different are things if Zach Hyman is in this Edmonton Oilers top 6? We won't know, and that's a dang shame. Anyways, for Avry and all of our crew at the Game Over Network, we're out. We'll talk to you again soon. And hey, I got to thank y'all for tapping in. And you could have been anywhere else in the world, but you chose to be here with me at the end of the 2024-2025 season. We'll have more stuff soon. But until then, enjoy your summer. Enjoy your vacations or whatever else you're doing until hockey starts up again this fall. Peace. Later.